you think? You're ready? I'm ready? Jessica's ready? Um, she's got 39.85 in her hand. All right, let's get started here. Got one female. The brown one's a female down there. It's all your choice. Buy one or buy them. Yeah, just buy one or buy them all if you want. $10 here, and gotta be 10. A little bit of the money, now 10, 10 right there, and a 15. Gonna be 20 here, and 25. Gotta be 25, 25, 25 right there. Now 30, 25. Gotta be 30 down to 35, 35, 35, 30 here, 35 now 40. $40 here, and gotta be 45. Minimum 45, 5, 5. Gotta be 45, $40 down here now 45, 40 here now 45, 40 here, and gotta be 45. Now a little bit of the money, now 45, 5, 5. Gotta be 45. Now 50. Back to you. Gotta be 50 over here. 45. Gotta be 50, 50, 50, 45. Gotta be 50, 45 here, and gotta be 50. Gotta be 50, 45 here, and gotta be 50. Sold it to you. 45 right there. Buyer number 608. What are you thinking? Which one would you like? Or which? Take as many as you want. 85 and 86, you betcha. All right, let's go again here. 10, gotta be $10 here. 10, minimum 10, 10, 10, gotta be $10 here. Minimum 10, 10, 10 right there. Now 15, you want to be got 10 right there. 15, gotta be 20, 20. Now 25, gotta be 25, 25, 25 up there. You want to be 25. Now 30 here. Now 35, gotta be 35. Minimum 35. Back to you. Gotta be 40 over here. And 40, 40, 40, 35, 40, 45 here. Now gotta be 40. 35 here and gotta be 40. Gotta be 40. 35 here and gotta be 40. All in and all done. 35 up here. What's your number? 112, 612. Two of the biggest ones. $10 here, gonna be 10, minimum 10, gonna be 10 over here, 10, minimum 10, a little bit of the money, 10, 10, 10 right there. 15, $10 here, gonna be 15, $10 here, gonna be 15, 15, gonna be 15, $10 where? $10 here, gonna be 15, gonna be $15 over here, gonna be 15, 15, 15, all in and all done. You want to be 15? Sold them to you, $10 right there. Take them all, you betcha. What's your buyer number there? 625. Got ourselves a billy goat there. 150, gotta be 150 right there, and a 155, gotta be 155, a little bit of the money, and a 160 here, 165, gotta be 170, 170 up top, gotta be 170 here, and a 175, gotta be 180 over here, 180, 180, 180, 180, 185, gotta be 185, and 190, 190 here, and gonna be 190, 190, 195, gonna be 200 over here, and 200, minimum 222, gonna be 200, and 205 over here, and 205, and 210 over here, and 210. Now 215 here, 220, gonna be 220, and a little bit of 220, 220, now 225, 230 over here, and 230, gotta be 230 up top, gonna be 230. Now 235 here, minimum 235, 55, 230 here, and gonna be 235, 230 here, and gonna be 235, gonna be 235, 230 here, and gonna be 235, 55, gonna be 235. Sold it to you, 230, buyer 230, buyer 34. Thank you. I don't know. Yeah, throw them all in. Just tell them as a family. Nobody told me. Got a little family here. You get a doe and a buckling and a female doe there, a little baby doe. Is it a wether? Did you want these as a family or not? No, I wasn't sure. We'll sell them as a family, you betcha. And a no tag. 200, gonna be $200 here. Minimum two, gonna be two. Minimum $200 here. Gonna be two. Minimum two. Gonna be two. 150 here. Gonna be 150 right there. And a 155. Gonna be 160 over here. 175 and 170. 170 here. Gonna be 170. 165. Gonna be 170 over here. 170. 175. 175. Minimum 175. 175. 180 over here. Gonna be 180. 185. Gonna be 185. 185. Now 190. 190. Did you say it? 190. Gonna be 190. 185 here. Gonna be 190. 185 here. Gonna be 190. 190. 185 here. Gonna be 190. All in and all done. 185. 34. Takes them all. 185. 34. They sneaking up here. Yeah. What do we got here? A little female there. Looks like a La Mancha. 50, don't live it on in a 50, gonna be 50, no in a 50, 50, no live it money in a 50 right there. Now 55, 50 here, gonna be 55, minimum 55, gonna be 55, 55. Now 60 over here, 55, 55, gonna be 70 here, gonna be 70, gonna be 70, 65, 70, 65 here. Now 70 where, gotta be 70, 65 here, no live it on 70, 70, gotta be 70, 65. Now 70, 65, gonna be 70, gotta be 70, gotta be 70, 65 and 70, 65 and 70. All in and all done. Sold it to you 67 or 65. Buyer 87. This one I think is 11 weeks old, right? 6 weeks old. Has a bottle every day or every morning and every night. Friendly little guy. 20, gonna be 20, no little line into 20, minimum 20 here, gonna be $20 here, minimum 20, gonna be 20, 20, 20, 15, gonna be 15, no little line into 15, 15, 15, gonna be $15 here, 15, 10. $10 where? I got 10 right there, and a 15, $10 here, gonna be 15, minimum 15, 15, gonna be 15, $10 here and 15, $10 here, 15 where? $10 here, gonna be 15, minimum 15, 15, $10 here and 15, $10 here, gonna be 15, all in and all done. Told him to you, $10, 258 or 508. 508. Okay, registered Bordeaux. Got the papers right here. 200, gonna be two, minimum $200 here, gonna be two, minimum $2 here, gonna be 200, minimum 200, gonna be 200, minimum 200, 185, gonna be 185, and 190, gonna be 195. Now two, minimum 205, 205 here, gonna be 205, 5, gonna be 205, and 210 over here, gonna be 210 to 215, minimum 215 up top, and 220, 220 here, gonna be 225, gonna be 225 and 230, minimum 230, 230, now 235, gonna be 235, 240 your way. Now 245 here, gonna be 245, gonna be 250, now 255, gonna be 260 over here, now 260, now 265. 270. Now 275. Gonna be 275. Gonna be 280 over here. 280, 280, 275, and 280. 275 here. Gonna be 280. 275 here. Gonna be 280, 280. Registered dough here. 275. Gonna be 280. All in and all done. Sold it to you. 275. Buyer 34. 275. Buyer 34. Here's another one here. Registered. Born 2018. 200, gonna be two, minimum $200 here, gonna be two, minimum 212 right there, and a 205 and 210, gonna be 210 and 215, gonna be 220 and 225, gonna be 230, 230 and 235, gonna be 240 and 245, now 250, 255, 260 here, gonna be 265 and 270 and 270, 265, 270, 265 here, gonna be 270, 265 here, gonna be 270, gonna be 270, 265 here, gonna be 270, 265, now 270, 265 here, 270, all in and all done, 265 right there, 87, 265, buyer 87. Looks like a La Mancha. 100, going to be 100. 100, minimum 100, going to be 100, 100 right there. Now 105, going to be 110 over here. Now 115, going to be 115 over here. Now 120, going to be 125. Minimum 130, 130, now 135, going to be 140 and 145 over here. Now 150 over here. Now 150, 50, 50, going to be 150, 145, 150, 145 here. Going to be 150, minimum 150, 145 here. Going to be 150, 50, 50, 145 and 150. Sold it to you 145, buyer 87, 145, buyer 87. All right, that tan one there is going to be back take 4002. I think that's your yearling doe. Registered. Born 2023. 200, going to be two, minimum $200 here, going to be two right there, and a 205, going to be 205, 200 here, going to be 205, 5, going to be 205. We're selling the blonde one right here. 205, going to be 205. She's a yearling doe. 205, going to be 205 and 210, going to be 210 and 215, going to be 220 here and 225, going to be 230. Now 235, going to be 235, 235 and 240, minimum 240 and 245, going to be 245, 55 and 250 here and 255. 260 here, going to be 255 and 260, 255 here, going to be 250, 255 here, going to be 260. All in and all done. All in and all done. Sold it to you 255, 34, 255, 34. We're going to sell this one separate, Mo. I think that's going to be our last registered doe there. Yeah. They're Al Ostrander. Ostrander, Al Ostrander. Yeah, okay. Large black hog crossbred. 250 here, gotta be 250, now 255, gotta be 255, 55, now 260 over here, gotta be 260, 255, 260, 255 here, gotta be 260, 255 here, gotta be 260, a little bit of money, now 260, 255, 265, 260 here, I got you at 260, now 265, gotta be 265, a little bit of money, now 265, 55, gotta be 265, all in and all done, 260, 265, sold it to you, 260, good purchase right there. What's that buyer number? 86. 86, put it on 86, you betcha. Yeah, I think so. January babies? December or January, bud. Weathers, looks like. Buy one or buy them all here. 80 bucks. 80, no limit on it, gotta be 80. 100, now 105. 100 here, gonna be 105. 110 over here, gonna be 110, 105, 110, 110, 115, 115, gonna be 115, 120, minimum 120, now 125, gonna be 130, 130, 125, 130. I got you at 125, George. Need 130, 125 here, gonna be 130, minimum 130, 125, gonna be 130, 125, 130, 135, 135. Back to you, George. 135. You're 140 over here. 135, gonna be 140, minimum 140, 140, now 145. Back to you, George. 145, 150 here, gonna be 150, now 155, 155, 160 over here, gonna be 160, 155 here, gonna be 160, 160, 155, 160. 160, 165, 165, 170, gotta be 170, 170, 70, no limit of money, 70 here, no 175, 175, gotta be 175, 180 here, minimum 180, gotta be 180 here, no limit of money, no 180 over here, no 185, 185 here, gotta be 185, no limit of money, no 185, 5, 5, gotta be 185, 180 down here, 185 where, 180 here, gotta be 185, minimum 185, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, sold them to you, 180 on 203 by Goats. Takes them all. I was telling you one or all of them. I didn't care. You want them all? Takes them all. You betcha. Get two females down here. Buy one or two. $120, gotta be $120, no limit on no $120, $120, gotta be $120, $120, $120, $120. I'll be $100 right here, now $105, $100 here, and gotta be $105, minimum $105, gotta be $105, $100 here, $105 where, and gotta be $105, 5, 105 right there. 110 my way. You're 115, George. Got to be 115. Now 120, 125. Back to you. 125, 125. Got to be 130 here to 135. 135, 130 here. 135. Got to be 135. 140 my way. 145. 145. Got to be 145. 145. I'm 140. Got to be 145. No bit of the money. No 145. 5, 5. 140 here. Got to be 145. All in and all done. Sold my way. 140. Takes the blonde one. Okay, we got one more female there. 100 here, going to be 100. George, you want to be 100? 100, going to be 100 over here now. 105. 100 here, going to be 105. Minimum 105, going to be 105 over here. 100 here, going to be 105. 5, 5, going to be 105. Thank you. Now 110. 110, going to be 115 over here. 115, got to be 115. 120, got to be 120 now. 125 your way. 125. 120 here, going to be 125. Going to be 125. 120 down here, going to be 125. All in and all done. All in and all done. 120 right there, George. 611, 120, 611 takes 4,008. All right, down a little bucklings there. 100 apiece takes them all. Now 105. You got to be 105. Got to be 105 all the way. 105. Got to be 105 on 110. Over here, got to be 110, 110, 105, 110. Back to you, bud. 110, 115, 115. Got to be 115. We're buying them all. We're buying them all. You got to be like 150 for two. 150 for two. Now 155. 150 for two. 150. 155. Got to be 155. 5. Got to be 155. Are you saying it bid right there? Waving. 150 here. Now 155. 155. He's got 150. George, we're 155 all the way now. You got to buy them all again. 155. You want to outbid that? Be 170 on two. 155 here. Now 160. 155 here. Got to be 160. Got to be 160. 155 here. Got to be 160. Got to be 160. 155. 160. All in and all done. Sold him 155 over there. 203 by Goats. All right, we got three Kiko Billy Goats here. $150, gotta be 150. No, the money to 50, 50, 50, 100 even now. 100 right there. Now 105, 100, 105, 110, 110. Gotta be 115 over here. Now 115 back to you. Now 120. Now 125 here. Gotta be 125. Gotta be 130 over here. Now 130, 130. Now 135. Gotta be 135. 140. 45, 150 here, going to be 150, 155, going to be 155 up there, going to be 155, 160, now 165, 165, going to be 165, 170 your way, going to be 170, 175 up here, going to be 175, now 180 here, minimum 185, going to be 185 up top, and 190 your way, now 195, going to be 195 and 2, 200 here, and 205, going to be 210, 210, 205 here, going to be 210, 205 up top, going to be 210, 210, going to be 210, 205 here, going to be 210, 210, 210, 210, what do you think there? Sold them to you, 205, buyer 34, 205, buyer 30 more. You want to take them all? You betcha, take them all. I think get two. Tucson and does there, looks like. No, one's got a La Mancha ears. Two, let's see here. Oh, hey, $80 here. 80, you got to be 80. No, running 80. Minimum 80 here. Going to be 80 here. Minimum 80 here. Going to be 80 right there. Now 85. Now 90 over here. 90 got to be 90. 95. 95 got to be 100. 100 your way. 105 got to be 105. 110 over here. 110. 110 got to be 115 over here. 115. 110 here. 115. 110 here. Got to be 115. Got to be 115. 110 here. Got to be 115. All in and all done. 110. 115. Sold them right there. 110. 625. What do you think? Both or one? Takes them both. Okay, got a pygmy goat here. 3962. On the pygmy goat, it's a female. Nice female there. 80. 6 months old. It might be. Is it the one? Yeah. $80 here, I'm going to be 80 and a little bit. I got 80 now, 85. I'm going to be 85. 80 here, I'm going to be 85 for the pygmy goat. 85 and 90. Got to be 90 up top. I got you at 85. Now I'm going to be 90 over here. 95, minimum 90. Going to be 90, 85, minimum 90 here. I'm going to be 90 here. I'm going to be 85 and 90 over here. 85 and 90. 85, 90. Now 95. 95, I'm going to be 95. 95, I'm going to be 95. 100 over here. 100 and 105. 5, 5. I'm going to be 105. 100 here. I'm going to be 105. 5, 5. 100 here and 105. 100 here. I'm going to be 105. I'm going to be 105. I'm going to be 105. 100 here. I'm going to be 105. Last chance. 100 here. I'm going to be 105. Sold her 187. 187 takes her. What do we got here? Billy. Pretty nice Billy there. 150, got to be 150 right there. Now 155, got to be 160 over here. 160, 135, got to be 170, 175, got to be 180 over here. 185, 190 over here. 195, 195, 190 here, got to be 195 and 2. 200 and 205, got to be 210, 215, got to be 220. Now 225, got to be 230, 230, 225 and 230. 225 here, got to be 230, 225 here, got to be 230, 230, 225 up top, got to be 230, 230, 225 and 230. 230, 225, got to be 230. All in and all done. Sold it to you 225, a 34, 225. Buyer 34. Looks like a doe. Nigerian dwarf. 40, gotta be 40, a little bit of $40 here, gotta be 40, minimum 40, 40, 40, gotta be $40 here, right there, now 45, 45, gotta be 50, now 55, 55 here, and 60 here, gotta be 60, and 60 your way, now 65, 65 here, gotta be 70, gotta be 70, now 75 your way, now 80 over here, now 75, 80, 75, 80, 75 here, gotta be 80, minimum 80 here, 75 here, gotta be 80, 75, and 80, 75 here, now 80, all in and all done. Sold them to you 75, 87, 75, buyer 87. Nice Nubian doe here. 200, gotta be two, minimum $200 right there, and 205, gotta be 210, 210 to 215, gotta be 220 to 225, gotta be 230 to 235, gotta be 240 to 245, to 245, 240 here, 245 wire, 240 here, gotta be 245, 55, 240 here, gotta be 245, 240 here, gotta be 240 to you 240, 34, 240, 34. All right, here's a fancy one right here. Fancy Boer Weather, been to the fair several times. I think he was at some jackpot show in the fair, whatever. Yeah, he's been showing a lot. 250, gotta be 250, no little running to 250, 250. He's a Boer Weather, 250, gotta be 250, 50, 50, gotta be 250, 50, 50, 200, minimum 222 right there. Now 205, 205, 200 here, gotta be 205, gotta be 205, gotta be 200 here, and 205, 205, and 210. 210 here. Now 215, gotta be 220, now 225, gotta be 225, 55, gotta be 225 right there. Now 230, 230 here, and 235, gotta be 235, 55, 230 right there, and gotta be 235, 55, gotta be 235, 230 here, 235, gotta be 235, 240, gotta be 240, and 245, gotta be 245, 55, gotta be 245, and 250 your way. 245, 250, 245 here, and gotta be 250, 50, 50, 245, gotta be 250, 50, 50, 50. Sold at 245 on 34, 245, buyer 34. Yeah, I heard you. I'll sell you some eggs, lot 36, get 22. 22 brown eggs. $4, gotta be $4, four, minimum $4 here, gotta be four, gotta be four, $3 here, minimum three, gotta be $3 here, minimum three, right there. Now $3 here, gotta be $4, four, $3, now four, now five here, $4 here, gotta be $4 here, gotta be five, minimum $4 here, gotta be five, $4 here now, $4 here now, sold them to you, $4, your way up there, 615. Lot 12. You get two 18 packs. $10 here, gonna be 10, minimum $10 here, gonna be 10, minimum 10 here, gonna be 10, gonna be 10, gonna be 10, $8 here, minimum $8 here, gonna be $8 here, minimum eight, gonna be 8 right there. Now $8 here, gonna be 9, minimum 9 here, $8 and 9, gotta be 9, two 18 packs, $8 here, gotta be 9, $2, $8 here, gotta be 9, 8 now $8 here, gonna be 9, $8 here, gotta be 9, all in and all done. Sold it to you, $8, 611. Do you want two more? Same price? Make sure they're still chicken eggs, yep. Yep. Lot 54, you get a dozen. $3 here, gonna be 3 dozen chicken eggs. $3 here, gonna be 3, minimum three, gonna be $3 here, minimum 3. $3 now, gonna be 2, I got 3, now 4, gotta be $4 up top. $3 here, gonna be 4, gonna be 4, $3 here, gonna be 4, $3 here, gonna be 4. 3 now 4, 3 here now 4, gonna be 4, $3 here, minimum 4, gonna be 4, and a little bit of money now 4. Looks like you got them, Phil, for $3. What's your buyer number? Somebody, Steve, Phil, one of you? You got one for $3. What's your buyer number? 335. How many do you want, Phil? Same price. He'll take another one. He'll take lot 57. 335. You want two more? What's your number? What's your number? 611. Takes 24 and 35. Same price. Yep. Take the last three. Buyer 34 is going to get 58, 55, and 56. Yep. Yeah. Suppose we can throw this shit up. 20 pounds of rhubarb. Right? What do we got there? It's not marked. What is that, a male or a female, Sean? It's a doe. 3 years old. 200, gonna be $200 here, minimum two, gonna be $200 here, gonna be two, minimum two, good looking dough there, gonna be two, minimum 200, 185, gonna be 185, gonna be 185. Did you say it? 185, now 190, 185, 190, gonna be 195, minimum 195, 55, gonna be 195 your way, 190 here, you gotta be 195, 190 here, gonna be 195 and 2, 200 and 205, gonna be 210 over here, 210 and 215, gonna be 220 and 225, gonna be 230 and 235, gonna be 240, 240, 235, 240 where? 235 here, and gonna be 240, gonna be 240, 235 here, and gonna be 240. Sold it to you at 235 on 34. This one's the weather. What's that? Purebred Spanish goat. $100, gonna be $100, minimum 105, gonna be 105, 110, over here, gonna be 115, over here, 120, 120, 125, gonna be 130, 135, gonna be 140, 145, gonna be 150, 155, 150 here, gonna be 160 over here, gonna be 135, 170, 175, gonna be 180 over here, 185, gonna be 190, 195, gonna be 200 and 205 and 210 to 215. Now 220, 225, 220 here, gonna be 225, 55, 220 here, gonna be 225, 220 here, gonna be 225. All in and all done, sold it to you 220, 87, 220 buyer 87. Got a dough down there. 60, gotta be $60 here. 60, no limit on in a city. Right there now, city 5, city, no city 5, city here, gonna be city 5, gonna be city 5, city here, gonna be city 5. $60 here, 65 where, gonna be city 5, city here, gonna be city 5, gonna be city 5, 5, 65 now, 70. 70 here, gotta be 75, gonna be 80 here, minimum 80 here, gonna be 80 now, 85, gonna be 85, 5, 80 here, gonna be 85, gonna be 85 and 90. 90 over here, 90 now, 95, gonna be 95, minimum 95, 90 here, gonna be 95, 90 here, gonna be 95, gonna be 95, 90 here, 95, gonna be 95. Sold it to you 90, 87, 90, 87. What do you think? What do you got? That one and that one? Yes, he wants to know if we're going to sell those together. That's a Billy, right? Looks like a Nigerian dwarf Billy. $80 here, gonna be 80, no limit on 80, minimum 80 here, gonna be 80 here, minimum 80 here, here we go, gonna be 80, 60, 60, gonna be $60 here, I got 60, now city 5, city here, gonna be 35, gonna be 70, no 75, gonna be 75, minimum 80 here, 80, 80, 80, 75, 80, 80 now 85, 85 here, gotta be 90 here, minimum 90, gotta be 90 here, 95, gotta be 95, 55, 95, 100 up top, gotta be 100 and 105, 105, gotta be 10, 10, 10, now 115, gotta be 120 over here, 120, gotta be 125, gotta be 125, 120 here, now 125, 120 here, gonna be 125, sold it to you, 120, 34, 120, 34. What's this little thing? $40.21. Said it's a thin lamb. Male. $20 here, gonna be 20, minimum 20, gotta be 20, 20, 20, gotta be 20, right there. Now 25, 20 here, gonna be 25, gotta be 25, 20 here, gonna be 25, 25, 30, 30 here. Now 35, gonna be 35, minimum 35, 35, 35, gonna be 35, 40 your way, gonna be 40, 40, 40, $40. Yes, sir. Now 45, 45 here, 40 here, gonna be 45, gonna be 45, $40 here, gonna be 45, gonna be 45, 5, gonna be 45, 40 here, gonna be 45, $40 down here, gonna be 45, gonna be 45, 45, 45, 45. Sold it to you $40, 625. Okay, let's get a weight on this one. Let's get a weight on this one. Got a fancy leather there. Another one of them fair type goats. Take your pick there. 100, got to be 100 over here. No 100. Oh, we're selling this thing yet. Selling this one in the corner here. 200, going to be 2, minimum 2, 2, 2, going to be 2. Going to weather there, going to be nice. No weather there, going to be 200, minimum 2, 2, 2. 180, 180 here, going to be 180, 100, 180 right there. Now 185, 180 here, going to be 185, minimum 185, 180 here, going to be 185, 185, 190, 190 now 195, 195 going to be 200, minimum 2, 2, 2, 195 and 2. 195 here, going to be 2 and 205, going to be 210. You're weighing a 215 over here, going to be 220 to 225, 225, 230 now 235, 230 here, got to be 235, 230 here, going to be 235, going to be 235, 5, going to be 230. And all done. Sold it. See you 230, 34, 230 buyer 34. Pen it separate. Take your pick right here. $80. Got to be 80 here. Minimum 80 here. Got to be $80 here. Got to be 80. Got to be 80 right there. Now 85. 85 and 90. Got to be 90 now 95. Got to be 200. 95 100 and 105. 105 here. 100 here. Got to be 105. 105, 55, 105, 110, 110 here. Got to be 110, 115. Got to be 115, 120. Got to be 125. Got to be 125. And 130, 130 here. 125. Got to be 130, 130, 130, 125. Got to be 130, 125. Got to be 130, 130 right there. Now 135, 135. Got to be 140, 140. Now 145. Got to be 145. Back to you, Mo. 145, 140 here. 145. Sold it to you. 140 right there. 203 by Sheep. Takes the big one. Sell you the skinny one. 100, got to be 100 over here. No 100, 100, got to be 100 over here. No 100. $80 here, going to be 80. Minimum 80 here. 50, got to be $50 here. Going to be 50. Now 55, 60 here. Got to be 55, got to be 70 here and 75. Got to be 80 here. 80 now 85. Got to be 85. 80 now 85. 80 here. Got to be 85. 80 here. Got to be 85. 55. 80 now 85. 80 now 85. Sold it to you. 80, 87. 80, 87. $39.95 in the ring. Got a ram down there. 100, gonna be 100 over here. No 100, minimum 100, gonna be 100. A little bit of the money. 100, 100, 100, gonna be 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. $80 here, gonna be 80 right there. Gotta be 80, 80, 80. Minimum 80 here, gonna be 80 right there. 85. Now 90. Now 95, gonna be 100 over here. No 100 over here. No 100, 100, 105. Gotta be 110 over here. No 110, 105 your way. 110, 105, 110. Gonna be 115 over here. No 115, gonna be 120. No 125, gonna be 125. Now 130. Now 135. 135, gonna be 140. Now 145, gonna be 145 and 150 here. Now 155. 160 here. Now 165. 160 here, going to be 165. Nathan, 160 here, going to be 165. I got 160 over here. You got to be 165. Yes, sir. Now 170, 175. Back to you. 175, 180 here. 175, 180, 185, 185, 180 here. Going to be 185, 180 here. Going to be 185. Last chance, 185. All in and all done right here. 180, 34, 180, buyer 34. Got a U there. $80 here, 80, got to be 80 here, minimum 80 right there, now 85, got to be 85, 80 here, got to be 85, 85, 80 here, now 85, 80 here, got to be 85, I got $80 there, got to be 85 and 90, 90 here, got to be 95, got to be 100 over here, no 105, 110 over here, got to be 110, 110, 105, 105 here, going to be 110, 110, 105, 110, 115, 115, going to be 120, 120, 120, going to be 120, now 125, going to be 130 over here, 130, with the minimum 130, 135, going to be 140 here, now 140, 40, 40, 135, 140, 135, going to be 140, 135, going to be 140, 135, going to be 140, sold it, 135, 34, 135, 34. Not 3973, 3973 in the ring. 85, going to be 85 right there. Now 90, 90, now 95, going to be 100 over here, now 105, and 110, going to be 15 over here, now 120, 120, now 25, now 130, 125, 130, 125, 130, 130 here, 125, going to be 130, 125, going to be 130, 130, 130, now 135, 135, 130 here, going to be 135, going to be 135, 130 here, going to be 135, going to be 135, sold it, 130, 203 sheep, 203 sheep, 130. Here we're getting into them little St. Croix, two little ewe lambs. Good little sheep there. 50, gonna be $50 here, minimum 50, gonna be $50 here, gonna be 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50 right there. I got 20, now 25, 20 here, gonna be 25, 25, gonna be 25 and 30, 30 here, down 35, 35, gonna be $40 here, gonna be 40, 40, 40, 35 and 40, 35 here, gonna be 40, now 45, gonna be 45 and 50 here, gonna be 50, 45 and 50, 50 right there, now 55, 50 here, gonna be 55, gonna be 55, 50 down here, gonna be 55, gonna be 55, $50 here, gonna be 55, 50 here, 55, 50 here, gonna be 55, gonna be 55, all in and all done. Sold it to you, 5628, 5628, takes it both. She just wants one. Which one do you want? $3978 going out the door. Got 20 over here, now 25, 20 here, gonna be 25, gonna be 25, gonna be 25, 20 here, 25, now 30, 30 now 35, 35 gonna be 40, 40, 40, 35 and 40, 35 here, now 40, now 45, 45 gonna be 50 over here, gonna be 50, 45 gonna be 50, 45 here, gonna be 50, 45, right there, now 50 where, 45 gonna be 50, gonna be 50, 45 here, gonna be 50, gonna be 50, gonna be 50, gonna be 50, 50, sold it to you, 45 right there, 622, 45, 622. Two U's, one U. What do you think? One U right here. $60 here. I'm gonna be sitting a little in a city right there in a city five. I'm gonna be city five. City here. I'm gonna be city five. City here. City five. 60 here. 65. Now 70 here. I'm gonna be 70. Gonna be 70. Gonna be 70. 65 and 70. 65 here. I'm gonna be 70. Gonna be 70. 65 here and 70. Where in 65? I'm gonna be 70. Gonna be 70. 65. Sold it up there. 65. 34. 65. 34. $39.77 in the ring. $60 on this one. $60 right there in a city five. City here. I'm gonna be 35, gonna be 35 and a 70 back to you and a 75 up here. I'm gonna be 75 and 80. 80 here. 75 here. I'm gonna be 80. Gonna be 80. 75 here. I'm gonna be 80. Gonna be 80. Gonna be 80. 75 and 80. 75 and 80. 75 and 80. Sold it to you. 75. 34. 75. 34. Pigs right. Why don't we sell some plants real quick? Yep, you get two peppermint starts right here. Lot 28. $1 here, gonna be $1 right there now. $1 now, two, gonna be two, gonna be two, gonna be two. $1 here, gonna be two. $1 here, gonna be two, $1 here, gonna be two, gonna be two, gonna be two. $1 here, gonna be two, gonna be two. $1 here, gonna be two. $1 here, gonna be two. $1 here, gonna be two. Sold it to you. $1 right there. 621. $1 621. Who's making rhubarb pie right here? Lot 37. Get a big bundle of rhubarb. $5 gonna be fine. Gonna be $5 here. Gonna be fine. Gonna be fine. 2.5. Gonna be $2.5. Gonna be $2.5 here. Gonna be 2.5. Gonna be 2.5. Gonna be 2.5. Gonna be 2.5. $1 here. Gonna be one right there. Now 2.5. $1 here. Gonna be 2.5. Gonna be 2.5. $1 here. Gonna be 2.5. Gonna be 2.5. $1 here. Gonna be 2.5. Gonna be 2.5. Gonna be 2.5. Gonna be 2. Sold it to you. $1 621. $1 621. Lot 27. Oh, wait a minute here. Lot 27 right here by itself. Iris bulbs. Lot 26, excuse me, Denise. $1 gonna be $1 down here, gonna be $1 here, minimum one, one iris bulbs here, $1 gonna be one, minimum one here, gonna be $1 here, gonna be one, 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 $1, thank you. Now two, $1 here, gonna be two, gonna be two, gonna be two, $1 here, gonna be two, $1 here, now two. Sold it to you, $1 right there, Arlene. We'll just do make up a number by Arlene. How about this one, lot 27? Just do one lot. Arlene, you're getting the whole tray kind of a deal? So this one's separate? You want the rest of them for $1, Arlene? Thank you. 27 goes to, or whatever you want to do. Okay, we got a Jersey Holstein cross calf down here, bull calf. $5 here, gonna be fine. Minimum $5 here, I got 5. Now 10, $5 here, gonna be 10. Minimum 10, $5 here, gonna be 10, 10, 10. $5 here, 10 where? $5 now 10. $5 here, gonna be 10, gonna be 10. Minimum 10 here, gonna be 10, 10, 10. $5, gonna be 10, gonna be 10, gonna be 10, gonna be 10, gonna be 10. Sold it to you, $5. What's your number, Sean? 624. You betcha. Thank you. Lot number 19, fertile goose eggs. There's one of them's actually making noises in here, they said. Fertile geese eggs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You get 14 fertile geese eggs. Some of them are. $5 gonna be fine. A little bit only a fine. Minimum fine. Gonna be 5 here. Gonna be fine. Gonna be fine. Gonna be fine. Gonna be fine. 2.5. Gonna be 2.5. Gonna be 2.5. 2.5. Gonna be 2.5. 2.5. Gonna be 2.5. I got 2 now. 3. 2 here. Gonna be 3. Minimum 3. $2 here. Gonna be 3. Gonna be 3. $2 here now. 3. $2 here now. 3. $2 here now. 3. 3. 3. 3. Sold it to you 2, bud. 31. Buyer 31. What's that? 3 pigs? Okay. 3 pigs on the scale. Three large black crossbred hogs, 11 weeks old, barrows, been dewormed. Buy 103. 100, gotta be 100 over here to 100, minimum 100 right there, now 105, gonna be 105, 100 here, gonna be 105, 105, 110 over here, now 115, gonna be 115 and 120, gonna be 125, 125, 130, 135, gonna be 135, gonna be 140, now 145, gonna be 150 over here to 155, 155, 160 over here, 165, gonna be 170, 170, 165, 170, 165 here, gonna be 170, gonna be 170, gonna be 170, 175, 170, now 175, 175, 180, 180 here, gonna be 185, minimum 190, gonna be 190 up there, gonna be 190, now 195, gonna be 195. Now 200, now 205, 205 down here, and 210, gotta be 215 down here, and gotta be 215, then 220, 220 here, and gotta be 220, now 225, gotta be 225, and gotta be 230 over here, now 230, now 235, now 240, 240 here, and gotta be 240, now 245, and gotta be 245 and 250, now 245, 250, 245, 250, 245 down here, and gotta be 250, 245 here, and gotta be 250, sold them to you, 245, buyer number 620, and which one do you want? Or which two? What? Takes them all. You betcha. 620 takes them all. Thank you, sir.
On to the birds.
All right. We want to start with the geese, please. Any of them. They're all in the big crates, I think. Male and female breeding pair geese. 1-year-old. And a trio of 1 male, 2 female. The females are laying hens. They're laying hens. A little mixed up there. Lot 21. A little bit of everything in there. 2 geese and 3 ducks. Comes with the cage. With the cage. Nice. Yeah. 100? I got 100 on it. Now 105. 100 here, going to be 105 and 110. You want to be 115? 115, 120. Up top, got to be 120. Now 125, Gary. 125, going to be 125. Going to be 125. 125, 130 here, going to be 130. 125, going to be 130. 130, 130, 125, and 130. How about you? Want to be 130? Now 135. 135, going to be 135. Going to be 135. You got to be 135. 130, 135, 140. 140 here. Back to you. Got to be 140. Now 145. Got to be 150 over here. 150. Now 155 over here. 155. Now 160. 155. 160. 155. Going to be 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 160. All in and all done. Sold at 155. Your way up there. Your way. 604. Buyer 604 takes it. Lot number 13. Those are 2 Sebastopol geese. With the cage. With the cage. Fine, gonna be $25 here, gonna be 25 right there now. 30, gonna be 35, gonna be 35. Minimum 40 here, gonna be 45. $45 your way. 40 here, 45, 50. 50 here now, 55. 55, gonna be 60 over here, gonna be 60. 55 here, gonna be $60. 2 geese. 55 here and got to be 60. 60 right there in the city fine, got to be 70. 70 here and got to be 70. 65 now 70. Who wants to be 70? Now 75. 75 got to be 80 your way back to you. 80 got to be 80 now. 85 got to be 85. 85, 85 and 90. 90 here. 90 now 95 got to be 95. 95 got to be 100 over here. Now 100, 100 and 100, 105. Now 110. 110 here. 105 got to be 110. Gary, what are you thinking? 105 got to be 110. 105 got to be 110. 110. 105 got to be 110. All in and all done. Are you saying yes? 110, 115, now 120, 120 here, gotta be 120, gotta be 120, 115, gotta be 120, 120, 120, 120, sold it your way, 115, 621, 115, 621. Is there one more geese? Is that one? Yeah. Lot 18. 2 geese, I hear. More than that in there. You get 4. Get 4 nice geese. Andy, is that yours? Are those males or females? 2 pairs in there. Are you selling the cage or are you taking that cage home with you today? Selling the cage as well. You got 2 pairs in there. We sold these eggs? Yeah, we sold those already. Yep. So 2 pairs, you get the cage. Geese. 100, gonna be 100 over here, now 105, 110, 115, gonna be 120 over here, now 125, gonna be 130, 135, gonna be 135, 140 here, 135, 140, 135, 140, gonna be 140, 135, gonna be 140, 135 here, 140, 135, gonna be 140, 135, gonna be 140, 135, gonna be 140, 40, 40, 135, 140, all in on 140, 145, 150, now 155, gonna be 155, gonna be 155, 160 over here, 160, 155, 160, now 165, Gary, back to you, gotta be $165 here, 165, 160 there, now to be 165, 160 here, gotta be 165. How about you up top? 165, 170, 170 now 175, 175 down here, gonna be 175, gonna be 175, 170 here, 175, last chance, 170 here, gonna be 175, all in and all done. Sold it to you, 170, buyer 000, buyer 000, thank you. Lot 17. Yep. Here's that 1-year-old Royal Palm male turkey. He's a tom turkey. He's a yearling. Nice job, Jessica. There you go, yearling Tom. I don't know about the cage on that one. $50 here, and gonna be 50, a little bit running a 50 right there. Now 55, 50 here, 55 and 60 here, and gonna be $60. Back to you, gotta be 60, 55, 60, now 65. Now 70 here, 65, gonna be 70, gonna be 70, yes, gotta be $70, 70, now 75, gonna be 75 and 80. 80 up top, gotta be 80, 75, gonna be 80, 80, 80, yes, now 85, 85, gonna be 90 over here, 95 and 90, you gotta be 90. Now 95 here, 95, gonna be 100 over here, now 100 and 105, 105 and 110, 105 here, gotta be 110, 105 here, gotta be 110, gotta be 110, 105 here, gotta be 110, 110, 110, 105 and 110. 105 going to be 110. All in and all done. 105, 620, 105, 620. Thank you. I don't know. You know who would know? What's his face? Pumpkin. Oh. Sell the cage, yeah. Take the cage with it, yep. Lot 46, you get some chairs there. Backyard barbecues. $10, gonna be $10 here, minimum 10, gonna be $10 here, gonna be 10, 10, 10, minimum 10, gonna be 10, gonna 10, $5, gonna be 5 on the chairs, gotta be 5, 2.5, gotta be 2.5, gotta be 2. You look like you might want to be $1 on the chairs, $1, gotta be $1, $1 here, gotta be $1, now 2, now 3, gotta be $3 here, minimum 3, now 4, $4 here, $3 now 4, $3 here now 4, $3 here, gotta be 4, gotta be 4, $3 here, gotta be 4, 4, 4, $3 here, gotta be 4, all in and all done. $3 somewhere over here, was it you? No, it's Chad, $3. He's trying to act like he didn't bid over there. $3, Chad's way. You got him. 337, 237, 337. Get a dog bed right there. 47, lot 47, I think she said. Yep. What's your number, Chad? 237. Lot 47. 2.5, gotta be 2.5 on the dog bed here. 2.5, gotta be 2.5 right there. Now 5, gotta be $5 here. 2.5. Steve, are you cool with 5? We're at 5 now. 7.5, now 10, gotta be $10 here. 7.5, 10, 12.5. 12.5 here, and gotta be 15, gotta be $15. 12.5, gotta be 15. 12.5 here, and gotta be 15. 12.5 here, and gotta be 15. 12.5 here, and gotta be 15. 15, 12.5, 15. Sold it to you 12.5 up there. What's that buyer number today? 623, 623. That's pretty cool. Whiskey barrel chair there. If there's one thing I'm not buying around here, it's more chairs, I can tell you that. $20 here, and gotta be 20, 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 20, 20, gotta be 20, 20, 20, $20 right there. Now 25. 20 here, and gotta be 25, gotta be 25, 25, gotta be 30, 30, 30, now 35, gotta be 35, gotta be 35, 35, now 40. $40 here, 35, gotta be 40, 35 here, and gotta be 40, gotta be 40, gotta be 40, 35 here, and gotta be 40, gotta be 40, 35, and 40. 35 and 40. Sold it to you, $35, buyer number 616, 616, thank you. Get a little sprayer there. 2.5, gotta be 2.5, gotta be 2.5, gotta be 2.5, gotta be $2.5. $2.5, gotta be 2.5. Buy that and put somebody to work. 2.5 where? And gotta be 2.5, gotta be 2.5, gotta be 2.5, gotta be 2.5. $1 here, and gotta be 1, gotta be 1, gotta be 1, $1 right there. Now 2, now 3, gotta be $3 here, and gotta be 3, 3, 3, now 4. $4 now 5. $5 here, and gotta be 5. $4 here, and gotta be 5, gotta be 5. $4 here, and gotta be 5, 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 gotta be 5. Sold it to you 4 your way. 621, 621. Lot 39. Size 11 boots. Too big for me. $10 and gonna be 10. There's steel toe. $10 and gonna be 10. Minimum 10, 10, 10. Gonna be 10. Gonna be 10. Gonna be 10. I got 10. Now 15. $10 here and gonna be 15. Gonna be 15. $10 here and gonna be 15. Gonna be 15. $10 here. I'm 15. You're 20. You gotta be 20. 15 here and gonna be 20. Gonna be 20. Gonna be 15 here and gonna be 20. Yeah. Are we both? What I got you at 10? Now 15, $10 here, and gotta be 15, gotta be 15, $10 here, and gotta be 15, gotta be 15, all in and all done. Sold it to you $10 your way, buyer 333. These ones are 10.5s. Lot 40. $10, gotta be 10. I got 10 right there. Now 15, $10 here, and gotta be 15. Now 20, 20 down here, and gotta be 25, and gotta be 25, and gotta be 25. 20 here. How about 21? Will you go 21 over there, and gotta be 21, 20 here, and gotta be 21, gotta be 21, gotta be 21, 20 here, and gotta be 21. Sold them to you 20, buyer 333. $20, buyer 333. Lot 48. 100 feet of that plastic calf chain. 2.5, gotta be 2.5, gotta be 2.5, 2.5, gotta be 2.5, gotta be 2.5, gotta be 2.5, right there. Now 5, 2.5 here, and gotta be 5, gotta be 5, 2.5, gotta be 5, 2.5, 5, 7.5, 7.5 here, and gotta be 7.5, back to you, 7.5 and 10, 10 now 12.5, $10 here, you gotta be 12.5, oh Iverson, you gotta be 12.5, back to you, 12.5, $10 here, 12.5, 12.5, 15, 12.5, gotta be 15, 12.5 here, and gotta be 15, gotta be 15, 12.5 here, and gotta be 15, gotta be 15, all in and all done. Sold it to you, 12.5 your way, 603, 603. Lot 44, bags of carrots. No guarantees on if you should be eating them. Eat them at your own risk. $1 and gotta be $1 here, minimum one here. Throw them to your birds if you want. $1 here and gotta be one, gotta be $1 here and gotta be one, gotta be one, gotta be one, gotta be $1 here and gotta be one, gotta be one, gotta be $1, $1, a bag of carrots. I got $1 now two. $1 here, gotta be two, gotta be $2 here, minimum two, gotta be two, $1 here and a two now three, gotta be $3 here, two now three, $2 here now three, $2 here and gotta be three, and gotta be three, gotta be three, $2 here and gotta be three, gotta be three, gotta be three, gotta be three. Sold them to you. $2 up there, 623, $2 on 623. You want two more bags, same price? You're done deal. Lot 40. Lot 43 and 45, same way, same price. All right, we got some tools here. Get a big mallet. Little handsaw. Little miter box or whatever that thing is. Bunch of hammers in there. Trowel. Oh, a little hatchet there. Now you're talking my language. $2.50, gonna be $2.50 here, $2.50 now five, $2.50 here, gonna be fine, $2.50, $5 now, $7.50, you gotta be $7.50 up there, now 10. 10 here, 12.50, 12.50, gonna be 12.50, $10 here, gonna be 12, got 10 there, now 12.50, $10 here, gonna be 12.50, gonna be 12.50, $10 here, gonna be 12.50, gonna be 12.50, $10 here, gonna be 12.50, sold them to you 10 right there, 625, $10, 625. 9, you get some hay hooks in there, the little calf bottle feeder, some chain, light chain. Banding tool, old school banding tool. Get some grease, a little oil can. I think there's a grease gun in the bottom of it. Is that the one? There you go. And those are sliding door track holders. $2.50, gotta be $2.50 right there. Now 5, $7.50, $7.50 to 10. $10 here, $12.50, $12.50, gotta be 15, $15 here, and $12.50, 15, $17.50, 15 here, and gotta be 17.5, 15 here, and gotta be 17.5, and 20, 20, 20, 20. Now 22.5, 22.5, gotta be 25, gotta be 25, gotta be 25, 27.5. Now 30, 30 here, 27.5, 27.5 right there. You're 30, you gotta be 30, minimum 30 here, and gotta be 30, 30. Now 32.5. Back to you, Miller. 32.5, 35, 35 here, gotta be 35, 32.5 here, you gotta be 35, gotta be 35, 32.5 here, gotta be 35, gotta be 35. 5, sold it to you. Oh, 35, 37.5, 35, 37.5, gonna be 37.5, 35, sold it your way then. 35 right there. What's your number, Angela? 600, 600. Lot number 8, yeah, it's a box full of nails, little nails. There's small staples in there. Whoever bought the hammers, you're going to want this box too. Right? Just put that in your pocket, Jess. We need that right here. $2.50 here, you're going to be 2.5 and 5, 7.5. Now 10, 10 here, 10 here, you're going to be 12.5. $10 here, you're going to be 12.5, going to be 12.5. $10 here, you're going to be 12.5, going to be 12.5. $10 here and 12.5, 12.5. 15, 15 here, 17.5. Now 20, got to be 20 here, you're going to be 20, 20, 20, 17.5, 20, 17.5 here, you got to be 20, got to be 20, got to be 20, 17.5, got to be 20. All in and all done. Sold it to you, 17.5 right there. 600, buy your 600. On to the birds. One lavender splash rooster. Here you go. $5, I'm gonna be fine. $5 here, I got 5. Now 7.5. $5 here, gonna be 7.5. Gonna be 7.5. 7.5. 10. 10 here. 12.5. 12.5. 12.5. Gonna be 15 here. 15. Gonna be 17.5. Gonna be 17.5. 15 here. 17.5. 17.5. 15 here. 17.5. All in and all done. Sold it to you. 15,621. $15,621. Lot number 34. Oh, get 3 ducklings? Are they baby geese or what? Oh, it says geese right here. 2.5, gotta be 2.5 right there now. 5, gotta be 7.5, 10. Now 12 and a half, 15, 17 and a half. 17 and a half. I got you at 15. You got to be 17 and a half. Now 20. You got to be 20. Now 22 and a half. I'm going to be 25. Got to be 25. 27 and a half. 27 and a half. 25 here. 27 and a half. 25 here. Got to be 27 and a half. I got you at 25. Got to be 27 and a half. 25, 27 and a half, and 30. 30 here. You got to be 30. Yes, sir. 30. Minimum 32 and a half. Got to be 32 and a half here. 30 and 32 and a half. 35. 35 here. 32 and a half. Got to be 35. Got to be 35. Now 37 and a half your way. 35 here. Got to be 37 and a half. 35. 37 and a half. 35. 37 and a half. 37 and a half. 40. 40 here. Got to be 40. Got to be 40. 37 and a half here. Got to be 40. All in and all done. Sold it to you, John. 37 and a half. 508. Lot 33. You're getting two little ones there. $10, I'm going to be 10, would have been 10 right there, 12 and a half, going to be 15, 17 and a half, 17 and a half, 15 here, going to be 17 and a half, 17 and a half, going to be 20 here, and 20, 20, 20 to 22 and a half, going to be 25, 25, 22 and a half here, 25 where, 22 and a half, going to be 25, going to be 25, 22 and a half, going to be 25, going to be 25, sold it to you, 22 and a half right there, buyer number what? 601, 601. Get two a little bigger. There you go. $20 here, you're going to be 20, minimum $20 here, you're going to be 20, going to be 20, going to be $15, 15, 15, 15, going to be 15, 15, 10, 10, 10. Now 12 and a half. 10 here, you're going to be 12 and a half, going to be 12 and a half, 10 here, you're going to be 12 and a half, 12 and a half, 15, 15 here, you're 15 now, 17 and a half, 15 here, you're going to be 17 and a half, and 20, 20 here, you're going to be 20, 17 and a half here, you're going to be 20, got to be 20, 17 and a half here, you're going to be 20, 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 17 and a half here, and 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, sold right there, 17 and a half, 601, 601. You're getting three here. $20, you're going to be 20 right there, and 22 and a half. 20 here, you're going to be 22 and a half, going to be 22 and a half. 20 here, you're going to be 22 and a half. 22 and a half. 20 here. Now 22 and a half. 20 here, you're going to be 22 and a half, going to be 22 and a half, and 25, going to be 27 and a half. 27 and a half. 25, 27 and a half, going to be 27 and a half. 27 and a half. 25 here, you're out. You need to be 27 and a half. 25 here, you're going to be 27 and a half, going to be 27 and a half. 25 here, you're going to be 27 and a half. Sold them your way. 25, 508. 25, 50 right over there in the corner. Lot 31. You get four. $20 here, you're going to be 20 to 22 and a half. 20 here, you're going to be 22 and a half. Going to be 22 and a half. 20 here, you're going to be 22 and a half. Going to be 22 and a half. 20 here, you're going to be 22 and a half. $20 here, 22 and a half. Where 20 here, 22 and a half. 20 here, you're going to be 22 and a half. Going to be 22 and a half. Going to be 22 and a half. 22 and a half. 22 and a half. 22 and a half. Sold them 20, 508. Sold them 20, 508. Lot number 22. Getting a rooster in this box. $5, going to be $5. Minimum $5 here. I got 5. Now 7.5. 7.5 your way. 7.5, 10. 10 here. Now 12.5. 12.5 here. You're going to be 12.5. Going to be 12.5. 10. 12.5. 10. 12.5. 10 here. You're going to be 12.5. Going to be 12.5. $10 here. You're going to be 12.5. Going to be 12.5. Going to be 12.5. Going to be 12.5. All in and all done. Sold at $10. 621. $10. 621. Feels good to share, doesn't it? Two little bantams and they're off heat. Look at that. Bantam frizzles. Should I buy them and throw them in with mine? You don't even want to know. 2.5, gotta be 2.5 right there. Now 5, 2.5, gotta be 5, gotta be 5, gotta be 5. 2.5 here, 5 where? 2.5, 5, 7.5. 7.5 here, gotta be 7.5. 2.5, now 7.5. How about 6? 5 now 6, now 7. 7 here, gotta be 8. $8 here, gotta be 8. 7 now 8. 7 here, gotta be 8 now 9. 9 over here, gotta be $9 now 10. 10, 10, $9 here, gotta be 10. $9 here, gotta be 10, gotta be 10, gotta be 10. $9 here now 10. 10 now 11. 11 here, gotta be 11. Back to you, gotta be 11. I got 10 in the top corner, you gotta be 11. $11 now 12. 12 up top here, gotta be 12. Gotta be 12 and 13. 13, 13. Andy, you gotta be 13 right there. 14. 14 here. 13, 14, 13 here. You want to be 14 and 15. Back to you, lady. 15, 15. You got to be 15. I got 14 here. 15. 14 here. You got to be 15. Got to be 15. 14 and 15. Sold it your way. 14, Andy. 603. $14. 603. What are those? Lot 60, I think. $10, gotta be 10, minimum 10 here, gotta be 10. Did you say it? 10 right there, 12 and a half, 15, 15 here, back to you, gotta be $15, gotta be 15, I got 12, 15, 17 and a half, 17 and a half right there, now 20, $20 here, 17 and a half here, gotta be 20, 20, now 22 and a half, back to you, 22 and a half here, and a 25, 25, gotta be 27 and a half, gotta be 27 and a half, 25, Andy, you wanna be 27 and a half, 25 here, 27 and a half, and 30, 30 here, minimum 30 here, gotta be 30, 30, now 32 and a half, 32 and a half, 35, 35 here, 35, gotta be 35, now 37 and a half, 35 here, gotta be 37 and a half, 35, gotta be 37 and a half, 35 over there, gotta be 37 and a half, gotta be 37 and a half, 35, 37 and a half. You guys got to be 37 and a half. Now 40. 40 here. You're going to be 40 and 42 and a half. Already back to you. 42 and a half here. You're going to be 42 and a half. Going to be 42 and a half. 40 and 42 and a half. 40 here. Going to be 42 and a half. All in and all done. It's going to be 40 up top there. 604. $40 on buyer. 604. Lot 25 going to be a Polish rooster. $15, gonna be $15 here, minimum 15, 15, gonna be 10, 10, 10, gonna be 10, 10, 10, $10 wearing, gonna be 10, minimum 10, 10, 10, 10. I got 5, now 7 and a half, $5 here, gonna be 7 and a half and 10, 10 here, 7 and a half down here, gonna be 10, gonna be 10, gonna be 10, 7 and a half here, gonna be 10, gonna be 10, gonna be 10, 7 and a half and 10, 7 and a half and 10, 7 and a half and 10, sold it to you, 7 and a half, too late, 7 and a half, 6, 2, 5, I'll get you on the next one. Lot 6 going to be a rooster. $5 going to be 5. Minimum $5 here. You're going to be 5 right there. Now 7 and a half. You got to be 7 and a half. Now 10, 10, 10, and 12 and a half. 12 and a half. You want to be 12 and a half? 12 and a half right here. Yes, George. 12 and a half. You got to be 12 and a half. George, you're looking to be 12 and a half your way. Is that all right? 12 and a half. Now 15. 12 and a half here. You're going to be 15. Going to be 15. 12 and a half here. You're going to be 15. 12 and a half here. You're going to be 15. All in and all done. 12 and a half right here. 611. 12 and a half. 611. Lot 53, Olive Egg or Rooster. $10 going to be 10, minimum 10 here, good size rooster there, going to be 10, 10, 10, minimum 10, going to be 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, I got 5, now 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 10, 10 here, 7 and a half, going to be 10, 7 and a half here, going to be 10, going to be 10, now 12 and a half, 12 and a half, going to be 15. You're 15, sir. I got behind you. You want to be 17 and a half? 15, 17 and a half, 15 right there. Now 17 and a half, 15 here. Got to be 17 and a half, 17 and a half. 17 and a half. Sold it to you right there. $15, $618, $15, $618. Lot 51, Lavender Americana Rooster. $10. Got to be 10, minimum 10 right there. Now 12 and a half. $10 here. Going to be 12 and a half. Going to be 12 and a half. $10 here. Going to be 12 and a half. Going to be 12 and a half. $10 here. 12 and a half where? $10 here. Going to be 12 and a half. Going to be 12 and a half. Sold it. $10 right there. 0, 0, 0. I think we can get that taken care of here pretty soon for you. $10 got to be 10. Get 3 of those. 10 to 12 and a half. $10 here. 12 and a half. 15. 17 and a half. 17 and a half right there. Now 20. 20. Now 22 and a half. Now 25. 25. 27 and a half. Got to be 30. 30. 30. 30. Got to be 30 your way. Now 32 and a half. 32 and a half here. Going to be 32 and a half. 30 here. 32 and a half. Going to be 35. 35. 32 and a half. 35. 32 and a half here. Going to be 35. Going to be 35. 32 and a half. Going to be 35. Sold them to you. 32 and a half. Buyer 601. Buyer 601. Lots 49, you get 2 Olive Egg or Roosters. Yeah. Try to roll her on her side and get her legs up. Get her legs right. Just leave her there. We'll mess with it later. Get 2. Who's going to be 20 on 2? Got to be 20, no, 20, 20, 20, 20. Got to be 20, got to be 20, 20, 20, 15, 17 and a half, 15, 17 and a half. Now 20, 20 back to you. Now 20, now 22 and a half, and 25, 25, 25, 25 right there. 27 and a half. Got to be 30, $30 here. Got to be 30, got to be 30, got to be 30, now 32 and a half. 30 here. Got to be 32 and a half. Got to be 32 and a half. 30 right there. 32 and a half. 30 here, 32 and a half. All in and all done. 30 right there. You bought her 30. 629, 629. Lot 16 is going to be Rooster. There we go. $10 here, you're going to be 10, you're going to be there 10, 12 and a half. 10 here, you're going to be 12 and a half, you're going to be 12 and a half. $10 here and 12 and a half. Where? $10 here, you're going to be 12 and a half. $10 here, you're going to be 12 and a half, you're going to be 12 and a half, you're going to be 12 and a half. $10 here, you're going to be 12 and a half. 15, 17 and a half. Who's over here? You got 15 right there. Back to you. 17 and a half. 17 and a half. Here, you're going to be 15. 17 and a half. You're going to be 17 and a half. 15. How about $16? 16, 15, 16, 17. 17, 16, 17. You got to be 17, 16 here. You're going to be 17. Sold at 16 right there. 618. Lot 52. Lavender Splash Rooster. Lavender Splash Rooster. There you go. Look at that fancy one there. Look at me 10 on them. 10. Gotta be $10 here. Minimum 10, 10, 10. Gotta be $10 here. Gotta be 10. Gotta be 10. 7 and a half. 7 and a half. Right there. Now 10. 7 and a half. Gotta be 10. Gotta be 10. 7 and a half here. Gotta be 10. 7 and a half and 10. 10. 12 and a half. 10 here. You gotta be 12 and a half, fellas. You gotta be 12 and a half. $10. 12 and a half and 15. 12 and a half. Gotta be 15. 12 and a half here. 15 where? 12 and a half. Gotta be 15. 15. 12 and a half. 15. Sold them to you. 12 and a half. 603. 12 and a half. 603. Lot number 7. 3 roosters. Two speckled looking ones, one red. $20 here, gotta be 20, 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 15, gotta be $15 here, gotta be 15, minimum 15, 15, gotta be 15, right there. Now 17 and a half, 15 here, gotta be 17 and a half and 20, 20 here, gotta be 20, you're 20, now 22 and a half and 25, 25 here, you're getting 3, 25, 27 and a half, and 27 and a half, gotta be 30, 30 here, that's $10 a rooster, 30, now 32 and a half, 32 and a half here, 30, now 32 and a half, 30 here, and gonna be 32 and a half, 30 here, and gonna be 32 and a half, all in and all done. 3629, 3629, 3629. Lot number 5, 2 roosters. Here you go. $10 here, you're going to be 10. Minimum $10 here, you're going to be 10, 10, 10, going to be 10. 12 and a half. 10 here, 12 and a half. 12 and a half, 10 here, you're going to be 12 and a half. Going to be 12 and a half, 12 and a half, 15. 17 and a half. 17 and a half back to you. 17 and a half. Now 20. 20 here. Now 22 and a half. Going to be 25. 25 here. Going to be 22 and a half. 25 your way. 25. Going to be 25. Going to be 25. 27 and a half. 25 here. Going to be 27 and a half. 25 here. Going to be 27 and a half. Going to be 27 and a half. Sold it to you. 25, 629. 25, 629. A Jubilee and Swedish Flower Rooster. Lot 23. Look at that one. $10 going to be 10, minimum 10 here, going to be 10, 10, 10, minimum $10 here, going to be 10, 10, 10, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, now 10, 7 and a half here, going to be 10, 10, 12 and a half, 12 and a half, going to be 10 here, and 12 and a half. Got 10 here, going to be 12 and a half, 10 here, going to be 12 and a half, going to be 12 and a half, 10 here, going to be 12 and a half. Sold it to you, $10, 603, 603. Getting into them laying hens. ISA Brown laying hens from Wally Pepper. 3 years old. You get 5. $20 here, you're going to be 20 right there, now 30. 20 now 30. 20 now 30, now 40. 40 here, now 50. You're going to be 50 over here, now 40, now 50, now 60 over here. You're going to be 60. 50 now 60. How about 52 and a half? Got to be 52 and a half. 50 now 52 and a half, 55. 55 here. 52 and a half, going to be 55. Going to be 52 and a half here. You're going to be 55. 52 and a half here. You're going to be 55. Going to be 55. 52 and a half now. 55. Sold them. 52 and a half. 508. 52 and a half. 508. Get 3 more. $20 here, gonna be 20, gonna be 20 right there. Now 22 and a half, 20 here, gonna be 22 and a half, 25, 27 and a half. Now 30, now 32 and a half, 36 on 35, 37 and a half, 37 and a half and 40, 37 and a half, 40, 40 here and 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 40 here, 42 and a half, 45, 45, 47 and a half up top. You gotta be 47 and a half up there, 47 and a half. Now 50, 50 here, and gonna be 50, 50, 50 your way, and gonna be 50, 50, 50, 50. Now 52 and a half, 52 and a half here, 50 here, and gonna be 52 and a half, gonna be 52 and a half, 50 here, gonna be, ma'am, you wanna be 52 and a half? 50 here, 52 and a half, all in and all done. Sold it your way, Cody. $50. 619, 619. Thank you. Lot number 4, 3 roosters. You get 3 here, $10, gotta be 10, minimum 10 right there, and a 12 and a half, 12 and a half, 15, 15 here, now 17 and a half, gonna be 20, 20 here, 17 and a half, now 20, 17 and a half, gonna be 20 right there, 20, 22 and a half, you gotta be 22 and a half here, you gotta be 22 and a half, 25, 27 and a half, 27 and a half, now 30, $30 here, 27 and a half, back to you, you gotta be 30 and 32 and a half, gonna be 32 and a half, now 35, 35, 37 and a half, 35 here, and gonna be 37 and a half, 37 and a half, and 40, 40 here, and gonna be $40, 37 and a half here, and gonna be 40, 37 and a half, gonna be 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40. Sold them your way, 37 and a half, 629, 629. Lot 20, get a rooster with the cage. $20 here, you're gonna be 20, gonna be 20 right there, and a 22 and a half, 20 here, you're gonna be 22 and a half, gonna be 22 and a half. Rooster with the cage, 22 and a half, 25, gonna be 25, gonna be 25, 5, 27 and a half, 27 and a half, 25 here, you're gonna be 27 and a half, 27 and a half. Now 30 here, you're gonna be 30 and a 32 and a half, gonna be 32 and a half, and 35, 35 here, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, 35 here, 37 and a half, gotta be 40, and you're 42 and a half, gonna be 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 40 here, and gonna be 42 and a half, 40 here, and gonna be 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 42 and a half. Sold it $40, 000. Sold it $40, 000. Lot 38, no cage rooster. The barnyard rooster. $10 here, you're gonna be 10, minimum $10 here. You got 10, now 12 and a half. $10 here, you're gonna be 12 and a half, gonna be 12 and a half. $10 here, you're gonna be 12 and a half. $10 here, 12 and a half. Where? You're gonna be 12 and a half. $10 here, you're gonna be 12 and a half, gonna be 12 and a half. All in and all done. Sold it to you, $10, 603. $10, 603. We gotta get some rabbits. Get a little buck rabbit there. 2 and a half, gonna be 2 and a half here, 2 and a half right there. I got 5, now 7 and a half. You gotta be 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 10, 10 here, you're gonna be 10, 7 and a half, 10, 10, 10, 10, 12 and a half, 12 and a half here, you're gonna be 12 and a half, $10 here, you're gonna be 12 and a half, $10 here, now 12 and a half, gonna be 12 and a half, $10 here, you're gonna be 12 and a half, all in and all done. Sold it to you, 10, 622, $10, 622. Lot number 2 is gonna be a doe rabbit. $10 here, you're gonna be 10, minimum 10, 10, 10. Are you running now? You don't want to see anymore? $10. $5 here, you're gonna be 5, gotta be 5. Doe rabbit, $5 here, you're gonna be 5, minimum 5, 5. 2 and a half here, you're gonna be 2 and a half, gonna be 2 and a half. Right there, now 5. 2 and a half here, you're gonna be 5, gonna be 5. 2 and a half here, you're gonna be $5. 2 and a half, gonna be 5, gonna be 5, gonna be 2 and a half and 5. 2 and a half and 5. 2 and a half here and 5. Sold it to you, 2 and a half, 622. 2 and a half, 622. One more doe, 2 and a half, gotta be 2 and a half, gotta be 2 and a half, gotta be 2 and a half. 2 and a half here, right there. You gotta be 5 this time. You gotta be 5, 7 and a half, George. You gotta be 7 and a half, 7 and a half, and 10. 10 here, now 12 and a half. $10 here, you're gonna be 12 and a half. $10 here, you're gonna be 12 and a half, gotta be 12 and a half, gotta be 12 and a half. Sold $10, 622, $10, 622. Thank you. Is that gonna do her? Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming in. We'll see you next Monday. Cattle sale today at 2. Wednesday, cattle sale 2.